Ever wonder what it'd be like to never get old? Since the beginning of time, humanity has thirsted for immortality. Kings have waged wars, empires have crumbled. This guy tried sticking a pair of monkey balls on people, thinking it'd make them live forever. What would you give up to be immortal? Better question, what would you do with all that time? Get rich? Learn every language? It would be an adventure of a lifetime for sure. But what if you had 2 lives, 3 lives? How about 100? Then you run into a far more human problem. This is Frieren, and she's in a bad place. A flurry of emotions are coursing through her. Pain, sadness, grief, loss. Yet none of these come close to cracking her indifferent facade. What's really tearing her up right now is regret. Frieren isn't like us. Her silver hair and pointy ears are a testament to her eternal youth and natural command over time. She's an elf, one of the few survivors in this war-torn world plagued by demons, while everyone else around her are only human. Glimpses, that's all we get to see, of the epic adventures spanning over a decade, each memory lasting less than a second because that's how Frieren remembers them too. See, Frieren's been around for a while, since the time monkeys were invented to be exact. To her, years feel like hours, and hours feel like seconds. So the supposed lifelong friends she made on her 10-year journey to defeat the demon lord almost feel like strangers. And that's her biggest regret. Frieren regrets not spending more time with her comrades, not getting to know them better, not making more memories, because now, she can't. But there's still hope. Her friends have a plan. There's rumors of a dusty old home buried beneath the great forest of Vol. The notes of a legendary and very hot mage who lived centuries ago. Why does Frieren care about a crinkly old stack of paper? Well, she doesn't. But that doesn't stop her old friends from researching the hell out of it for her. Frieren, the dwarf says, Hyder and I have been snail-mailing each other for the past 30 years. We know exactly where the magic book is, and we need your help to go get it. So, the 3-man team makes for the forest. Oh yeah, Frieren's picked up a kid along the way to help her with chores and stuff. And they search and search until they find it. Hidden between the pages, they find out about Oriole, the mystical land up north where all human souls go to rest. But more importantly, it's where Frieren will be able to once again come face to face with the dear friend she barely knew from 30 years ago. For the first time in a long time, there's fire in her eyes. Only Oriole is really far away and really hard to get to. Frieren does the math and figures that she probably won't make it that far on her own. You know, because of the magic-proof dragons and hordes of demons that are out to get her for killing their king. So she picks up another kid to help with all the fighting, and they're on their way. But the most interesting part of the show isn't what happens on screen when you tune in every week. It's what happens when you aren't watching. 6 months pass in a blink of an eye. Characters get old from one scene to the next. This is what it feels like to be an elf. People you meet come and go so quickly, you can't even begin to care about them. Whether they die or leave on their own makes no difference. All you know is that they're here 1 minute and gone the next. Seasons change daily. No one remembers you. Indifference is the natural response to all this noise. Now imagine this playing out over and over again for 1,000 years. Can you see why Frieren's so aloof all the time? But the worst thing is the undercurrent of isolation that follows her wherever she goes. It's the kind of deep loneliness that only someone from the outside looking in understands. Turns out, eternal youth isn't all it's cracked up to be. You can imagine Frieren being almost jealous of humans in her heart of hearts. They just have it so easy. All they gotta do is find something they're good at, fall in love, and spend the rest of your lives living happily ever after until they die surrounded by a sea of loving family and friends. But who's gonna be there for her? Maybe, in the land where souls go to rest, she'll never have to be lonely again. That thought drives her forward, but as the team makes their way north, something happens. Through just the sheer passage of time, owing to no single event in particular, familiar feelings start to develop again. The trio starts kicking ass and taking names. They're coming together like a well-oiled machine in a lube factory. And the next thing you know, bonds are being built. That's a good thing, normally. But Frieren knows very well these feelings don't last and always end with the bitter sting of death. But hang on a second, this time feels different. Frieren's a smart girl. She starts piecing things together. Why does this almost feel like deja vu? Her new traveling companions, Frieren the Mage and Stark the Warrior, are direct disciples of her old ones. Hell, the entire quest chain she's on right now, the epic journey to Auriol, was cooked up by her mentor, who lived 1,000 years ago. Frieren was never alone. Not really. Despite what she thought, there are people that care for her. There always have been. People who go out of their way to stick their necks out for her. People who ask for nothing in return but her happiness. People who are still looking out for her long after they're gone. Their love and care transcend the boundaries of time. And as soon as she realizes this, she's grateful.